1995 Thailand Open.
Really is incredibly popular out in Thailand, and of course James Wattana has played a major part in making snooker so popular out there. He's had a great start in the final of this 1995 Thailand Open. He leads by 1 frame to 0. Best of 17, remember. Here's frame 2.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Second frame, James Wattana to break.
James Wattana has just produced the start. It was absolutely imperative. Not only did he win the first frame, he won it in style with a 90 clearance. Mind you, it all started rather fortuitously. Potted a good red and had an even better kiss to retain position on the black.
Beauty of the red that Ronnie's potted, he now has a good angle on the green to be able to virtually do what he wants with the cue ball. Well, a choice of 2 or 3 reds to play for, but he's underhit that one by quite some way.
4.
The gap is on to be able to play for the black if he wants to play it slowly. Wow,
5.
Goodness me, if it had hit that a fraction harder, it wouldn't have gone in. This certainly wiped its feet. Just watch this one. Right in off the jaw. Ah,
5.
These are good signs for Wattana.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
He's got Ronnie O'Sullivan thinking anything could happen.
Yes, he's now missed 2 blacks off the spot. The first, of course, very difficult cueing with the cue ball tight into the side cushion. No such excuse there.
Yes, and it was Ronnie's turn to be a little fortunate with the kiss, because without the double kiss on the black, James would have been on a very, very easy red. As it was, the miss has not cost Ronnie anything.
One.
Well, once again, won't be happy with that one. The green would be probably the better choice of the 2 to roll up behind, because he's got a better chance to cover all the 13 reds, whereas off the brown, got a longer distance to travel. He could knock this green 2 or 3 inches further forward and still snooker.
1.
I think that rolled
Ronnie
off.
O'Sullivan.
I wouldn't say that it could be the table's fault that it rolled off. Damp atmospheres, the cloth's quite heavy, probably a little finger mark. Finger marks where they've been playing the safety shots from that area. They can just roll in a finger mark, and the table has played superbly, to be fair. I mean, sometimes they're very, very difficult to play on when we play abroad. And I think that the Riley organisation have done the best they possibly could with the conditions here, and the table has played really well. The standard of snooker has been superb.
To play a shot at that pace on this kind of occasion, tremendous.
This is the beauty of Ronnie O'Sullivan for me. He just doesn't think he's going to miss, which is what we all wish we could do. You know, he just doesn't even contemplate missing.
1. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Missing he has done. And you can't afford to miss those with the reds in the position they are now. The reflection of James will be soon turned into reality here. This is a frame winner. He can open a few more reds out with this shot, knowing he's going to be on the black. That's a clever little shot. Once again, the reds are in prime position for James's last visit, which was 90. Are we going to see some of the same here?
8.
Well, this time James Wattana's problem is he's overrun the cue ball quite somewhat. The red with the rest is no problem, but the position on the black is a big problem. There's not a lot of room. He's going to have to go around the back of the black, and that may change his mind and play for one of the lower colours. Let's see if he plays to get on the black. Yes, it was too difficult, he felt,
9.
and it was a good choice, I think. Choice of pink or blue. I'm not sure whether the pink pot, so blue is the choice. There you can see the pink is too tight. All he has to do now is avoid the cannon on the yellow. Now, has he avoided it? Great shot. Now, that is a superb shot. Now, that could be a frame winner.
$15.
Wattana made a blistering start to last year's final. His opponent that day was Steve Davis. Today, contrasting styles, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
And perhaps you could remind viewers, Phil, what happened the last time these two met in Thailand.
Well, I don't think Ronnie would like to be reminded about it. O'Sullivan was beaten 5-0. By an inspired Wattana performance in the first round of last year's tournament.
21.
Since then, though, O'Sullivan got his revenge. He beat Wattana 9-4 in the final of the British Open 11 months ago.
22.
And this is the first time that James has had the correct angle on a colour to be able to get onto the red just high and right above the black. That's the one that's causing all the problems. As soon as he can get rid of that red, the black will be nice and easily available into both pockets. He's overrun it again a little bit. He may have to wait one more time. Just have the red above the three reds near the pink spot, which all he has to do now is make sure he gets the right side of the blue again.
28.
That's why players often overrun that shot. The worst thing that can happen is finish straight or low. It doesn't matter being on the half ball blue, as long as you're high on it and you can come back down to the reds off just the one cushion. Now, shouldn't be any problem we can get onto that red. And that is perfect.
33.
You can't make 100 century breaks in competitions, which are sanctioned by WPBSA. Obviously, James has made many,
34.
many more 100 breaks than the 100 is recorded, but all the ones he's recorded are in WPBSA sanctioned events. And you can't make 100 century breaks without being able to break build. He is one of the best.
41.
They're certainly enjoying it. Could this be another local victory?
42.
That is a very, very good shot, but when you're queuing high above the balls here, you've got to really make sure you hit that cue ball in the centre, because you can swerve it. Well, he didn't hit it good, did he? He miscued, I think.
James Wattana.
I think if we can see that again, Phil, we may have seen a miscue.
Yeah, I think he just topped the cue ball like a golfer. Didn't make solid contact with it in any way, shape or form. The result, O'Sullivan's got a good chance to pinch the frame.
And that would be quite amazing, wouldn't it? O'Sullivan had the first two chances to win the first frame, only made 34. James has had a marvellous chance there, and what a time to miscue.
8.
Saving grace for James could be the two reds that are stuck together, but I think the bottom one of the two, the one nearest the black, will probably pot in the top left-hand corner pocket. The only problem for Ronnie now, if he's straight on this red, it means he can't get a good angle on either of the black or blue to be able to get onto that red. May have to leave the long blue. Yeah, that was his problem, you see. If he'd have ran through, he'd have been right near the jaws of the middle pocket and couldn't get back onto those two reds. I'm still not sure he's got the right angle. Oh, how good's this shot? One of the shots of the tournament, that is absolutely superb.
14. 15.
The problem now would seem to be the green and the pink close together, up in bulk.
Yes, and Ronnie will definitely play, if the pink is potable in that corner pocket, Ronnie will definitely play for the pink off this last red. That is, of course, if he's got the right angle.
22.
No, he hasn't got the right angle. So now there's
23.
still a little bit of work to do. Pink is freely available into the middle pocket. But look at the position you're going to have to get from yellow to green to get there. Couldn't have played it a lot better.
30.
Great shot. Perfect angle. £12 points the difference. So up to and including the pink, Ronnie O'Sullivan needs to win this frame.
32.
And what a fillip it would be to pinch this frame. He knows he should have been 2-0 behind. It's a massive frame for Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's missed it. He rushed it.
32.
Oh, has he been fortunate,
Ronnie
Phil?
O'Sullivan.
Well, from where I'm sitting, it looks as though... There it is. Indeed, he has fluked.
Thank you.
What could be a vital snooker? Unusual for O'Sullivan, body movement on that green.
Yes, it was commonly known in the trade as a twitch, but who can blame him? Ranking against major final. Playing in James Wattana's own backyard, as it were. Couldn't really want more pressure than that.
Wattana's 10 points ahead. He requires green, brown and blue. O'Sullivan needs green to pink. What an enviable position, Willie.
It's not easy to get safe, this. Could play it thin and just push it on the side cushion. If he plays it thick, he's got to avoid double kisses and do anything but that. Well, in saying that, this is not as easy as it looks. Ronnie will be taking this on, I feel, but if he hits the far jaw, he's going to stick the green. This is one of those instances where players would rather, if they're going to miss it thick, which means it would hit the near jaw. Let's just see how Ronnie plays it. You see, that's what he's done. That may have looked a bad miss, but the first thing he wanted to do is make sure he didn't hit the top jaw. That means he didn't want to pop the green thin, otherwise it would have just come back and left James an easy chance. He tried to pot it, but definitely off the near jaw rather than the far jaw, so that wasn't as bad as it looked. Now this is something about Wattana's game that's improved over the years, his safety play. That could win him this game because, in fairness, he's definitely a better safety and all-round player than Ronnie O'Sullivan. Certainly not as good as potter or break builder.
That could be an expensive blunder. Didn't want the double kiss.
No, this is not easy because he's going to have to play it at pace. Oh, that's a superb shot. Wonderful shot. And it's nice to see these Thai fans appreciating good shots. You realise when you hit a ball that hard and go around two cushions, you've got to hit them very clean. And that was never going anywhere else but in the pocket.
7.
So just blue required. There'll be no heroics here on our getting on the next ball. And now Ronnie O'Sullivan with it all to do.
Wattana 22 ahead with just 13 on the table. O'Sullivan needs 2 snookers.
$12, James Wattana and the frame.
Well, surprisingly, he doesn't even attempt to get them. James Wattana won the first frame with a 90 break. The second, much closer, but he forges on.
And what sort of reception do you think he'll get if he can add another Gloucester Thai Open title to his list of successes? Well, 2 frames to the good then, James Wattana, and things got even better for him. Even worse for Ronnie in frame 3. Wattana won that by 67 points to 5 to make it 3-0. And more depressing for the young man from Essex. Frame 4 also went to Wattana. Ronnie O'Sullivan had his chances in this frame, but eventually Wattana won it by 62 points to 57. So at the first interval, he was 4 frames to 0 to the good. Pretty surprising scoreline, I think most people would say. But Mark, you have to hand it to James Wattana that under pressure of his own from his home crowd, he really responds well.
I don't think he's under as much pressure as he was at the start of the week then. I think he's come through that exceptionally well. And I think he's out there now enjoying it. And, you know, he's playing good snooker. He's 4-0 up. I mean, it's going to be a tremendous hurdle for Ronnie to climb to come back and actually win the tournament. So, I mean, at 4-0, you can only really see James getting stronger and stronger.
Tremendous turnaround in form for James, because I think it's fair to say that this season he's only been a pale shadow of his former self.
Yeah, I mean, he admits he hasn't had a particularly good season, but I think that maybe the Thai people and playing back in his home country, because I can imagine being that far away from home, you get homesick and all that, and he's back in his home country in front of his home fans, and he's producing the goods.
Well, James Wattana leading then by 4 frames to 0. Remember, the winning post is 9. It's a best-of-17 final. This is frame 5. Now, it's been a very tense affair indeed. As we join it, the score's 47 points to 38 in Ronnie O'Sullivan's favour. But James Wattana is back at the table and has just potted a red.
James Wattana.
Sigh of relief for Ronnie.
O'Sullivan certainly seemed very relaxed in the players' room during the mid-session interval. Chatting away with his good friend Tony Knowles. He seemed as though he didn't have a care in the world.
I think if Ronnie needed a little fill-up, he would have been so low and down when that red was fluked by James Wattana. He'll now be quickly bouncing around the table again because he now feels that he was staring 5-0 in the face. He's now got a chance to pinch it.
8.
What a massive frame this is now. Ronnie O'Sullivan takes a 4-point lead. It's still an awful lot of work to do.
16.
That was a little bit careless. If he had caught the jaw or the middle pocket, he would have been on one of these bought colours. Well, looks like he's taking the brown on. That's more like it. And look at the angle he's got. Is he going to move the red out?
20.
Yes, he was thinking too many shots in advance there. Try to win the shot or the game in one shot.
Yes, but we've talked about Wattana's good fortune. He could have had a much easier red on than this. Just playing safe.
Oh, without the kiss on the blue, that would have been a very good shot. It's left James an easy safety shot now. Can play the red onto the black and get the white in behind blue and green. Only problem with this shot, James has got to be careful he doesn't catch the jaws of the middle pocket should he decide to play it off 2 cushions. That's why he might play it off 1. Played it off 2 and not hit it hard enough.
O'Sullivan 9 points ahead. Yeah, coming frame 5, still very much in the balance.
Good shot from Ronnie. If James could play the fine safety shot, he could get Ronnie in an awful lot of trouble here, though. Just depends how fine he hits this. Well, he's hit it great. Does he hit it a little bit too hard? Well, chance for Ronnie. 2-ball plant onto the black, not the black on the hole. White in behind blue and green. Oh, Ronnie, that should have been a real gilt-edged opportunity to put him in trouble. Thin angle would probably cannon into the pink, and then of course he could get the cannon onto the black if he hits the pink, so he's got to be careful here. He's played it well though. Not quite enough angle. Somebody sooner or later is going to get this white in behind green and blue, and when they do, they will become big favourite for the frame. So got to be very careful with this shot. You don't catch the jaws of the middle pocket when you're playing this shot. That's what's causing both players the problem at the moment. Well, the white's in if it's hard enough.
Foul stroke, 4. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
13 points to the good now, O'Sullivan.
Thank you, James.
Not surprisingly, decides to put Wattana back in.
Tony Drago and myself were in the commentary box, looked at each other there, thinking it was a little bit of a surprising choice of Ronnie to let James play that again.
Yeah, but there's always the danger of knocking that black in, Willie. Didn't want to do that.
Well, especially now. James may be forced to play the negative shot off the cushion, but he's got to be very careful if he plays it fine. I think just the slow roll up off the left-hand cushion, just play a containing safety shot for the moment. James coming round to look at the situation as far as the two reds are concerned. What would happen if he played thin off the right-hand side of one of them? Looks from here like he'd knock the black in, doesn't it? Well, looking straight down on the shot. Yes, this looks the right shot. I know he's going to be in trouble off the next shot. And leave one of sort of an easy safety shot, but I think he had to contain him there. Distance Ronnie needs to get between the balls to make it difficult. That is perfect. That is a great shot. But I still think there's room for James to play the same shot. Even if he knocks the black in, he's not sure to leave a red on. So he won't be too concerned. The 7 points makes no difference. I think he's going to knock the black in here, but he won't be a problem. No, there's it done. Now, if this goes behind the yellow, this will be a great shot. Not hard enough.
The crowd certainly enjoying this exchange. It's very tense.
That could be the winner, that one. That is a superb shot. Just kept out. Ronnie's got to be careful here. Oh, that was a surprising choice of shot. What was he thinking of there, Phil? Because he's left to James a pot, and he can pot the black should he pot it.
Well, Wattana just looking to see, in fact, if the black does go.
He'll certainly pot if he can get the white near the blue spot area, but I'm not sure whether the black will pot from near where the red is. Yeah, that's why James played it at pace, look, to get the white near that blue spot area, and he would have been able to pop the black. So Ronnie, I'm sure, would breathe a sigh of relief from there. So I know that looks like it doesn't pop, but it's so near the jaws that you'd virtually be assured of the double kiss to knock it in. Similar sort of shot for James. Got to hit it very, very fine, though. He just played a perfect one of these shots a few moments ago. And played it well again. The safety has been superb in this frame.
Yes, just approaching the 21-minute mark. Whatever happens, it's going to be the longest frame of the match so far.
Oh, double kiss nearly helped. Another 2 inches further, it would have been a really tough shot for James. Well, this is risky. Clever little shot, but Ronnie should put James in trouble now.
He led a charmed life there. And this black proving to be a magnet for the final two reds.
Well, James, I think he's playing very thin off the one nearest to the black. Got to be careful he doesn't get the double kiss. Great shot. Well played. There's 23-minute frames that can be considered slow by James Wattana and Ronnie O'Sullivan, but this 23-minute frame so far has been full of really good snooker. Some frames can be considered boring when they take a little bit of time. This has been exciting for a number of different reasons. Now a chance for Ronnie to get both reds in the balk end of the table and leave the white near the black. Well, the excitement now is going to stop for the position around the black. It was really good snooker, that. I'm sure it was very enjoyable for you people at home as well.
There have been 30 shots since the last ball has been potted. That's something when you've got two exceptional potters like these two.
Crowd clap, but James is going to be in trouble off his next shot. Very easy safety shot for Ronnie to play. Well, he needs to get that white tight on the cushion. Not hard enough.
Both finalists here today are experienced enough to realise the vast importance of this frame.
Well, that was a chance for Ronnie. James will certainly take this red on. Amateurs at home would be taking the black here, but I don't think James will. It's a lot more difficult off the black to get onto the red. Great pot, but position from yellow to red just as difficult. Yes,
One.
that is a massive chance now for Ronnie.
All the colours in the open. O'Sullivan already 12 points ahead.
One.
Well, Ronnie thought he'd missed that. I could tell by the way he looked at it.
Eight.
Well, he had a great chance in the previous frame, will he? Miscued on the pink. Can he take advantage of this one?
10.
Not a big margin of error. Got the gap for the
13.
cue ball to go through for the green, though. And now 25 ahead, 22 on.
16.
The disappearance of that brown effectively guarantees that Ronnie O'Sullivan,
17.
belatedly, will get off the mark.
22. $28.
Was that the start of the fight back, or just a brief interruption to Wattana's dominance? We'll soon find out. James Wattana leads Ronnie O'Sullivan by 4 frames to 1.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Do wish he'd keep his eyes on the road, don't you, with 100,000 new vehicles each month on the Bangkok streets. Now then, at last Ronnie O'Sullivan has broken his duck. He trails by 4 frames to 1, but if he thought he'd weathered the typhoon, he was very much mistaken. James Wattana came straight back to win frame 6 by 71 points to 31, to lead by 5 frames to 1. A real mountain to climb for O'Sullivan. Here's frame 7.
7th frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Ronnie O'Sullivan badly needs to win the closing 2 frames of this opening session. A 5-3 deficit going into this evening's play. Well, that's manageable proportions. At 6-2 or 7-1 down, you would have a mountain to climb.
Well, quite brilliant, the pot. Ronnie, I'm sure, doesn't like the look of these going in. Virtually every frame these are going in. I think that's 3 out of 3 that James has potted. Every break-off that Ronnie's played, I think James has knocked the opening red in. So Ronnie really needs to tighten his break-off shot up. Alice hit it too well. That was a very, very good shot on the brown.
5.
Just overrun it slightly. Will he be tempted with the one in the yellow pocket? Well, that's fantastic. Didn't look on from our commentary angle, the clip on that red. How confident is he playing now? Look at this fine clip. He knew he was catching the pack, but probably realised he was catching it thin enough to go up for one of the lower colours. Didn't look on from where we were. But now look what's happening. This is going to be a slow plant. As you can clearly see, they're miles apart, but with that red being so close to the pocket, I think he's got to play this because he can get onto the black very, very easily. He looks to be hitting it too thick at the moment. Ah, it's a good shot. Well, the break only stands at 12. It's very hard to say that this is one of the best 12 breaks I've seen, but we've seen some excellent shots in this last 3 or 4 balls from James Wattana. The opening pot was brilliant. The brown was overrun.
19.
The clip red was brilliant. The blue was a good shot. We've then seen the plant. And now we can turn
20.
those 4 or 5 shots into a frame-winning opportunity. This has been tremendous.
And what a response this has been to O'Sullivan's success in frame 5.
$27.
Choice of 2 shots here. You could play the red in the top left-hand pocket and just play the cannon into 3 reds. He's almost bound to be on the pink. Could leave himself Chinese, of course, should he play it. That's what's happened.
28.
If he can cue it, there's no problem. But if he can't, it may be end of break after the pink. Let's just have a little look of how much of the cue ball he can see. Yes, he can just about get enough to be able to do something with the cue ball. Had to play with a lot of side though, didn't he? And now
34.
it's very difficult, Phil, to see him not winning the frame from this opportunity. The reds are spread perfectly.
$35.
Yes, well, he's done the majority of the break building in this match, that's for sure. Runs of 90, 49 and 71. O'Sullivan's best efforts, 4 runs over 30.
And that's the first bad shot
40.
in the break. So this frame-winning opportunity looks to have ended. Ronnie now would be sitting in his seat, delighted that he's got a chance to make it 5-2 instead of 6-1. James has still got a pot on. I'm not too sure they can make it into a shot to nothing, though. Oh, great shot. Great shot. He's looking good, but he's not out of the woods yet. Yellow difficult, brown difficult. The determination on his face. This is not easy. Brown or yellow. Both shots difficult. Both shots difficult to get under the next red. Yeah, good choice.
41. James Wattana.
Good choice. Keep the pressure on.
All around the table for that one, as you say, Willie. Well constructed.
Well, he deserved to be on a colour. Fantastic pot. But goodness me, he's just finished in the middle of nowhere. The brown, probably potable, but look how fine he's going to have to hit that. This could finish anywhere, the white. No, he doesn't like it. Playing the snooker.
1. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Unlucky there. That pot deserved to be on a colour. Will he get another chance?
Here we are, Willie. James Wattana 5-1 up in the final of the Thailand Open. 41 points to 1 ahead in frame 7. And these Thai fans, I bet they can't quite believe some of Wattana's results back in England over the last few months. I've seen him play exceptional snooker here for the last 2 years. They must wonder what's going on.
Stroke. 4. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Well, that was a fantastic effort. Fantastic effort. Yes, that's a good shot from Ronnie as well. That was difficult to get a good safety shot. Well, will James be tempted with one of these long ones? One available into the top left. That the white will probably go around the back of the black. There's also two in the top right available. Big shot should he take it on. He's not guaranteed to get onto a colour, so he may decide to play safe. Let's just see how he's feeling. Yes, that was dangerous. Wasn't bound to get onto a colour. I didn't think there was enough value in that shot.
Foul stroke.
Oh,
4.
This
Ronnie
is a
O'Sullivan.
chance, a big chance.
7 reds on the table. They know that O'Sullivan has got the opportunity to get back into it. 7 reds on the table, all in open positions. The colours nicely placed as well. She fears the worst.
Six. 7.
It's hard to believe the way the Ronnie's been playing. He would be in a position like this, needing to
14.
make sure of a clearance to only make it 5-2. Hardly anybody here in Bangkok fancied James Wattana before
15.
this final. He has played superb this afternoon.
$22.
Could this be a relaunch for the Rocket?
23.
He hasn't made any breaks of note yet, even though we're into frame 7 of the final.
29.
He's got the opportunity to make amends here, though, will he?
30.
Yes, I would like to have a small wager that his highest break of the match will come from here. As you rightly said just a moment ago, 36 his highest contribution so far. He's already on 35 and very hard
35.
to see him missing from here.
36.
Yellow ball can only be the slightest of problems for Ronnie because he doesn't pot by the brown, so he's going to have to play for it
41.
in one of the two middle pockets or the yellow pocket. That can only possibly be the only thing that could get Ronnie in trouble here. Doesn't really want to play for pink or black off this last red. It would
42.
have been very difficult to get onto the yellow. That's why he's playing a more difficult shot. The brown wouldn't be bad if he can get behind it. The only problem with that, if he finished tight on the cush, it would be a hard yellow to get to green. Well, the problem ball is now. Good pot, good position.
47.
Should be enough.
49.
Yes, that's brilliant. Play with a lot of check side there. Just green and brown. What a
52.
massive frame fill this has been.
Yes, O'Sullivan's first half century of the contest. And what a timely effort.
56. 61.
And you know, it took only 3 minutes to complete.
67.
Didn't even look at the black. Didn't need it, though. At 67 clearance to the pink. Puts Ronnie O'Sullivan back on tracks. It's now James Wattana 5, Ronnie O'Sullivan 2.
So Ronnie O'Sullivan winning his second frame of the match. 5 frames to 2 the score then, but O'Sullivan unable to close that gap any further. Frame 8 went to James Wattana by 85 points to 0 to make the score at the end of the first session 6 frames to 2 in favour of the defending champion. Here's the first frame of the second session. It's frame 9 in the match.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. 9th frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
The final lap of a marathon race, the 1995 Gloucester Thailand Open, down to the next 9 frames. But it could be over in 3. That's what James Wattana needs to make a successful defence of the title. Ronnie O'Sullivan requires 7 of the remaining 9. A massive crowd here. Not a seat to be had. And you, Willie, I believe, had trouble getting into the arena.
Great shot from Ronnie. Yes, unfortunately, my watch was 2 or 3 minutes slow. And what they do, they lock all the doors when the introductions are going on. And I was locked behind closed doors for the introduction. But managed to get here for the start. And what an aggressive start. An aggressive mood Mr. Ronnie O'Sullivan looks in this evening.
6.
Yes, Willie, the way Ronnie O'Sullivan started, I'm sure Wattana wished he'd been locked out.
Ronnie, when talking to me just before the start of the match, said he couldn't fancy himself to win all 4 frames before the interval, but he felt if he could lead 3-1 at the interval to make the overall score 7-5, he would be back in this match. So what he's actually getting himself mentally tuned in to play these 4 frames as a different match and try and win. So 3-1 or 4-0, he's back in there with a chance.
Well, Willie's come back from 6-2 down before this season in a best-of-17 frame match. That was against Mark Flowerdew in the first round of the UK Championship, but this is an entirely different situation. A much tougher opponent and all the pressure associated with the final of a world ranking event. A statistical comparison, but that's about all.
27.
This time he'll be forcing through the reds, splitting the reds open, and might even be able to screw back and get on the black. Oh, that is so careless.
27.
Just when it looked
Ronnie
it was
O'Sullivan.
going to be flowing, missed a very, very easy red. Probably concentrating too much on the kiss off the pack.
Red's open and might even be able to screw.
Good safety. That's another aspect of O'Sullivan's game that needs to be sharp. Containment against Wattana, always the key. If you leave him chances, sooner or later, he's going to exploit them. Well, Wattana, although he played the better of the 2 this afternoon, also enjoyed a favourable run. That was fortunate as well.
James Wattana's safety this afternoon was very good. He's got a couple of loose ones already this evening. Ronnie concentrating a little bit more on the safety than the pot that time. Hence the cue ball finishing virtually tight under the top cushion.
1.
That's a little bit better. And the grin tells it all. He probably knows I'm talking about him. In fairness, he deserves a good run of the ball there because he's still not given up. You can tell that in his face. He still fancies the job in hand.
Seven. 8.
You know, Will, he's one of those players that if he gets on a roll, as you said this afternoon, he can win 3 or 4 frames in absolutely no time. He once won a 5-0 match in only 35 minutes. So if he does get into a groove,
15.
this lead could be easily eroded.
16.
He needs a good temperament. He certainly got it. You don't win the UK Championship
23.
a couple of weeks short of your 18th birthday without being able to handle pressure.
24.
A little surprised he played to manoeuvre one of those reds out there. I just can't understand for the life of me
31.
why he did that. He's 58 in front. He would have only needed 2 more reds and colours to virtually assure him of this frame. So why risk to knock one out of the cushion?
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
The break ends prematurely, but O'Sullivan 58 points to the good and in the driver's seat in the first frame of this evening session.
The easiest safety shot would be off the one next to the black, but there's no way that Ronnie will be playing that. That black's tied up and out of commission at the moment. He'll want to leave it there as long as possible. If James gets the chance, he'll play the one next to the black though. And straight away, that's what he's doing.
Be satisfied with that one. Tight under the ball cushion.
James does have a shot to nothing on here, but the colour's not going to be easy. All the baulk colours virtually on the spots, but the angle that the cue balls are going to be coming around the table, it can only have brown or green off this pot. And now with even more reds going towards the side cushion, Ronnie's chances of winning this all-important first frame that he's virtually got to win to have any chance in this match is getting better by the second. And there's another one going on the cush, so that's a good shot. Now Wattana, of course, we're trying to bring him out into the open again.
Over the pocket, and he hasn't covered it with the green. A path for O'Sullivan, and the chance he needed.
1.
And that's quite a good shot. The black didn't pot in the top right-hand pocket, so Ronnie's played for the pink. Whether he played for it in the middle or not, we're not too sure, but he shouldn't have any trouble from here.
8.
66 in front, 67 on the table. Just this black needed, and snookers will be required. Just the opening
15.
Sullivan would have wished for.
16.
Be interesting to see whether, should Ronnie miss at this visit, whether James will have a little bit of practice. It is the first game of the evening, albeit they've had 8 frames on the table this afternoon. James
22.
may feel like coming back to the table just to get his cue arm going, but it would surprise me if he did.
Yes, there are a group of players who carry on regardless. Others who concede when they think they're out of the frame.
And the
Wattana
frame.
is in the latter group. And indeed, he concedes. Ronnie O'Sullivan badly needed that frame. He wins it by 80 points to 0. He now trails by 6 frames to 3.
Well, O'Sullivan looks to have taken on some rocket fuel during the interval between sessions, but he still trails by 6 frames to 3. It means Wattana is just 3 frames away from repeating his victory of 12 months ago. Here's frame 10.
It was absolutely imperative for Ronnie O'Sullivan to get off to a good start here this evening. Well, he's done it, and he won the frame convincingly. 80 points to 0. Although his highest break was only 31, it was just the kind of start he needed. And I'll tell you what, Willie, if O'Sullivan wins this frame, the pressure firmly back on Wattana's shoulders. 6-2 up, looked to be on course for the title. At 6-4, it's back to being a very keenly contested affair.
Well, James played a clip like this in the first session this afternoon and potted it. Not too sure whether he's going to risk it this early on this evening. He is. Now that is very dangerous. That is really, really dangerous. That was a surprising choice of shot. And with chances like this, and Ronnie, when he gets in full flight, he can be very, very dangerous.
And I wonder, Willie, whether history is going to repeat itself. Last year, Wattana let Steve Davis 6-2 after the first session of the final. Davis came back to trail only 8-7, and he could easily have won the 16th frame as well.
8.
On that occasion, Wattana held firm. Will he be able to do the same here tonight?
13. 14.
Be interesting to see how Ronnie's feeling at the moment. There's a red clearly available on the top left-hand pocket. Will he play the little cannon into the pink to try and bring a couple more out? No. Play for the loose one. This time, 2 reds available into the middle after potting the black.
19.
Depending on what angle he gets on the black, is whether he'll play for those
20.
2 reds. The angle he's got now tells me he's going to have to go into the pack. He really needs the group of 3 reds. He really needs to try and hit the middle one of those 3, but that's hard to get at. That would split them out into the open. Oh, goodness me, Ronnie, you can't miss blacks off the spot.
20. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
That's 2 this evening already.
Yes, he missed a red when his concentration was divided because of position. The same thing applied there. Worse still, a red onto the middle pocket for Wattana. And he's only 20 points behind.
One.
Pink is still available into the top left-hand pocket. But James will quickly want to get that black back on its spot as soon as possible. and because of that reason, he's playing it now.
8.
He knows with the black at the end of the table would become a frame-winning opportunity at this visit. Left himself quite a lot to do with this shot.
15.
Shouldn't really be any problem with the pot, but where the cue ball is, it could have been a lot better. And there's a little bit of pressure on this one. Off the side door.
16.
But now back in good position. The two reds just below the pink or pot into the top left-hand pocket, or top right-hand pocket, I should say. So nothing more with the cue ball than just to roll it in.
21. And
all the time developing the break, increasing his options. I just wonder whether the red closest to the pink now actually pots to the bottom left-hand pocket if he needs to play position on that one.
Yes, I'm sure it will, Phil, when he, of course, first of all gets rid of the red he's just about to play next. That's a little bit careless from James. Those two reds were open in the top right. There was no need to play the cannon. He probably had to play the cannon to hold the cue ball. But he missed one of these this afternoon by miscuing. Well, he's missed another. Oh,
13.
A fraction harder that had no chance of going in.
Yes, they very rarely fall in when they hit the jaw that far up. Another awkward one. Cueing very difficult, as you can see. That was a good shot under pressure.
Still not out of the woods yet, though, Phil. The next two shots are not too easy. He's going to have to play a cannon on to the other red to get onto the pink here. Yes, I knew he was struggling. He just doesn't look right at the moment. Doesn't look to be cueing well at all.
O'Sullivan should have made more than 20. Wattana should have made more than 37. The frame's still in the balance.
One.
And a poor positional shot again from O'Sullivan. He's letting the cue ball get away from him on occasions.
Well, you can't cue a ball better than that. Perhaps a little unfortunate just to overrun it. He went for the shot wholeheartedly and aggressively. Just unfortunate he's not got an easier red than this.
9.
Oh, that's a good shot. And this will be a big tonic for Ronnie if he knows that after missing the black off the spot, you always feel if you don't, you don't deserve to win a frame after that. All of a sudden, if he can win it and make it 6-4, James will be feeling a bit low, and Ronnie will be feeling like he's just about to start the match.
15.
Perfect angle on the pink to move the second red out. Make sure of the pot, though.
$21.
4 points to the good O'Sullivan. This is a tough red.
$22.
Made a difficult one. Looked preposterously easy.
Yeah, what he was trying to do, though, of course, Phil, he knows he needs that last red on the cushion. He can get onto the one in baulk anytime he wants. He was trying to leave an angle on the pink to be able to move that. He hasn't got that now, so good pot required.
29.
Well, this could change the match the next 5 minutes. Just depends whether he can drop right behind this red. Oh, do you go for these?
32.
Or do you play the cross double? get the white into baulk, and it's a bonus if the red goes in.
He isn't taking it on. No real surprise about that.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 32.
That will do nicely.
The unfortunate part about Ronnie's last shot was the fact that he left the red 2 or 3 inches off the cushion, which meant that James could play that shot quite easily. But there is a gap through pink and through blue and green. And the gap's been taken. Well, this looks like a real frame-winning opportunity now. Just 3 more shots and should be 6-4.
And you know, the nice thing about this performance so far, it's being appreciated by this capacity crowd. They're partisan. They want James Wattana to win the title.
10.
But they're also fair. All week, Ronnie O'Sullivan has been a very popular attraction here. His games against
13.
Hendry, Ebden, both sellouts.
$17.
And O'Sullivan now certain to pull another frame back.
And
32 points the difference, only 18 on the table. That's why James Wattana throws in the towel in frame 10. Ronnie O'Sullivan right back in it. It's James Wattana 6, O'Sullivan 4.
The sea's a little choppy there, and James Wattana just rocking a little as well in this final of the Gloucester Thailand Open. Ronnie O'Sullivan has won 2 frames in succession, so Wattana's lead reduced now to 6 frames to 4. We're going to join frame 11 with James Wattana leading by 33 points to 21, and he's at the table.
Well, 2 female Dennis Taylors, 2 male Dennis Taylors.
Yes, Willie, making a spectacle of themselves.
I think they all went to the same optician as well. I think they look like twins at the back.
Foul stroke. 6. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yes, the pink moved by about 2 inches there. Not sure whether James moved it with his cue. I think he moved it with his cue. Yes, he moved it after the shot with his cue. Oh, great shot from Ronnie. I think it might be only worth 1, because even if he puts the green, I'm not sure whether he's got the angle for the red. Yes, he has, though. It's come out far enough. So once again, O'Sullivan has a chance. Come far enough, but he didn't play that side of the blue. He played to finish short. Now the angle on colour, very necessary.
5.
He's got the perfect angle on the blue now. Should be able to move one of these 2 reds out, but will he be fortunate to knock one on the pocket? No, he got the kiss, but he wanted to come in behind it.
That blue though gives O'Sullivan a 4-point lead. What a tense affair frame 11's turning out to be.
$10. Ronnie O'Sullivan.
James is a very easy safety shot. If he wants to play it off the right-hand side of the red, in between the yellow and brown, and snooker in behind the brown. Could have played it a little bit harder and brought the white back off the baulk cushion. It's very easy for Ronnie to hit, but the next one might not be. If he can get by the blue. Finally. And we had to put him back in the same place. Obviously the angle wasn't there for him to play that shot, and this is not easy to get safe either. 33, 37, what a frame this is. Does he have a go at this? The deciding factor could be the fact that the other red is tight on the cushion. You may feel that it might be worth the risk. The safety shot's not easy. But the angle he's got on the red is not bound to get onto a colour. This may be time to try and establish a safety shot, but he's going for it. Great shot. He's 5 points in front. That's the reason he's not just rolling the black in.
Green roll. 1, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Containing Wattana again. The escape pretty simple. But what's he going to leave?
Well, this red is potable, but the cannon on the green's not going to help him. The safety shot is quite straightforward, but it looks like he's going for the pot again. Sometimes I wish he'd just take a little breath and have a look at those. Could have put James in so much trouble with a safety shot. But when you can pot like him, who can blame him for going for them? Probably the best potter in the world at the moment.
The finest of cuts. It was always going to be difficult to control the cue ball there. That took nerve. Played it well. 38 points each. We're down to the colours. Apart from the black, all the colours nicely in the open.
In fairness though, Phil, that black might not play any part in this frame now. Whoever pots the yellow you would think would be a real big favourite to win the frame. Would only need up to and including the pink to make the frame safe. So the black may not play any part. This is an important hit. Must get this safe if he hits it.
Half stroke, 5, and a miss.
The miss called. But does James have a go at the yellow? No, he's having it put back. Not too sure whether the blue was quite like that, but it wasn't far away. Ronnie's thinking about playing at 2 cushions. I'm not sure there's any room. Oh, there is. Great shot. Great shot.
If O'Sullivan had been asked to place the balls there with his hand, I'm sure. He would have accepted that.
Well, he's going to be in all sorts of trouble here. Yellow tight on the black. White, 2 cushions, in behind green, brown and blue. Didn't quite pay attention to the black. If he'd have got that yellow on top of the black, this would have been really hard to hit.
Foul stroke 4, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Oh, well, on the way down the table, that didn't look as though it was going to go in off. It looked as though it was going to catch the right-hand jaw as we look. But it fell in. If O'Sullivan can pop this yellow, well, who knows? In it goes. Nice position. Could this be 6-5?
Well, if it's not, I think Ronnie will be taking a trip to the bridge over the River Kwai to jump in, because he won't get a better chance than this to win the frame. And that bridge is not too far away.
9. $14.
Just the pink required.
20.
Ronnie O'Sullivan has completed a hat-trick of comeback frames. He trailed 6-2. Now he's just 1 behind. James Wattana 6, Ronnie O'Sullivan 5.
And now we really do have a final on our hands, don't we? Ronnie O'Sullivan's won 3 frames in a row. Score now, James Wattana 6, Ronnie O'Sullivan 5. Let's see frame 12.
At the start of the evening, James Wattana
12
was in
frame,
control.
James Wattana
6-2 ahead, seemingly on his way to a successful defence of the Costa Thailand Open title. Now it's 6 frames to 5. And Ronnie O'Sullivan has achieved his objective of winning 3 frames before the mid-session interval. Can he win all 4?
A little bit of encouragement from the crowd. I probably think breaking the reds open is a good shot.
They're certainly very subdued, aren't they, Willie? It's noticeable in the last couple of frames that they haven't made as much noise. They're worried. And he's the reason. Ronnie O'Sullivan coming back strongly.
And that's an excellent shot. I wonder if they'll clap that one. They tried.
Well, Watson has had a few flukes today. That was nearly another. As it turned out, good open chance for O'Sullivan.
1.
One of his trademarks, these long straight blues to the ball pocket, rarely misses them.
Well, if it was 0-0, this blue would be a certainty. Yes, I know. It's a different game with pressure. It really is. You could feel it that he knew that was a big shot. Just a little twist of the back arm there, put that little bit of right-hand side on it, didn't hit the cue in the middle. The white whipped over.
1.
And now we'll see how good James Wattana's temperament is. It's been tested many times in his short career. It's being tested again now. Oh, what a massive frame this is now for both these players.
8. 9.
Doesn't really have the required angle on the blue to get anything easily. So may force the white onto the side cushion off the green to be able to pot the red in the top right-hand pocket. Well, he didn't play it like this. I don't think he's got on anything.
12.
Well, he can't be thinking of playing the plant field, can he? 18 inches apart, the plant's nowhere near a plant. He's going to have to make it. Well, how would you like to have to play this every day of the week?
Very risky.
James
Touch of
Wattana.
desperation in that shot, I think.
Oh, I don't think any of those gentlemen would have played it. I don't think too many other players would have played it. I've been there and done it myself under pressure. You play some shots under pressure sometimes. You can't believe when you see it on video that you even attempted it. I'm sure that'll be one for James when he watches the rerun of that. Oh, they're all Wattana fans. 6-all.
9.
A different game.
One of the amazing things about this O'Sullivan recovery is that his highest break has been a very modest
16.
32.
17.
2 loose reds, so Ronnie's going to play for those. Still not potting them as clean as I would like. Everything seems to be
24.
going in either off the thick side or the thin side. He's not really getting them in the centre of the pocket at the moment.
25.
No need to play the breakup of the reds off the yellow. He does have a good angle for that. There's still that one more loose red. And now a must, the angle on the black. Essential to keep this break going.
28.
A little bit straight, so he's going to be forced into playing the one on the top cushion.
Sentupol Surivong, chairman of the Thailand Billiards and Snooker Association, not looking too happy. He's a big supporter of James Wattana, a big supporter of snooker in general.
35.
And he'd love to see the local hero win the title again.
36.
Sullivan's pulling out the stops, though.
Oh, the angle's not perfect. He's going to have to make it. Going to run through off the cushion. Now, does the red pot in the middle? It doesn't.
43.
Yes, it does. That's
44.
That's his highest break of the evening session so far. I don't think we've seen the last of a few more breaks in this match. That's a little bit careless, though. It's perhaps a good job. He's probably
46.
one of the best players in the world with the rest. He's going to have to be here.
Yes, just what I was going to say, Willie. Very dependable.
47.
Thank you, Ronnie. You didn't let me down there.
And how well he played it, Phil. Not only potted it in the middle of the pocket, got the perfect angle on the black. Once again, you see, the reason the cue ball's not gone straight on this red, he potted that black thick.
54.
Just not quite getting on the pocket at the moment.
55.
That's what's making this break a little bit workmanlike. He keeps having to do things with the cue ball to keep the break going. Oh, and that's what happens. You cannot
55.
keep potting balls when you're losing position.
55 break, but not enough to secure the frame. 44 points the difference. 51 on the table. Wattana. Can he fashion? Major clearance. Every chance.
Well, James would have wanted to play the black there rather than the pink. You can get into that pink any time, but it's easier to get onto the reds off the black. It's more out into the open. Well, all week he's been missing pinks. Sorry, he's been missing balls into the middle pocket.
8.
This is massive. If it goes in, I fancy him to win the frame. Look how long he's taking over the shot. He knew how important that one was. The pink formality position on red is not quite as easy. When they're this close to the pocket, you're not bound to get on them. There you are, finish nowhere. The red will probably sneak in the middle,
15.
but he didn't play it in that pocket. He played to get onto the same pocket as the pink. It's potable, and he has actually been fortunate enough to leave a good angle. That's where it's going to be going in a minute, hopefully. For James Wattana, that is, and that's where it's
16.
gone. And now, albeit 28 points behind, if he gets on the yellow, becomes favourite to win the frame. And Ronnie O'Sullivan will never forgive that miss on the pink.
23.
Another good pressure part. 6 each was within O'Sullivan's grasp. Now 7-5. Looking more and more likely.
28.
And what a turning point this could be. 4 pots away from re-establishing a 2-frame cushion.
32.
Well, she's certainly involved. It's been like that all week. Round of applause, but position onto the pink, not ideal.
Oh, normally the little stun round 2 cushions is the normal shot, but you can flick a bit of side on this. This is a big shot. Brilliant. Oh, she loved that one.
Well, it's the land of smiles. She certainly gave us one then. Massive clearance. A well-deserved round of applause. A virtual standing ovation. 7-5, James Wattana. What a clearance of 50. Could that be the turning point?
Well, they were certainly pleased about it, weren't they? Ronnie O'Sullivan will not have been so pleased, having compiled 55. He then missed a pink mark, which, well, it wasn't a gimme, was it?
No, I don't think it was particularly easy pink. It was one that you would have expected Ronnie to pot, but by the same token, it was a great clearance from James Wattana.
Especially as by that stage, he's under pressure, isn't he, with Ronnie having won 3 in a row.
It looked like Ronnie was going to go 6-6, then they got a straight best of 5, and you'd have to fancy Ronnie from coming back from 6-2. But now at 7-5 to James, you know, Ronnie's got it all to do again.
So, could it be the turning point? Well, we shall see. We'll be back with frame 13 in just a couple of minutes. Welcome back. James Wattana then has stopped the Ronnie O'Sullivan winning 3 in a row, but James winning frame 12 to re-establish his advantage to 2 frames. 7 frames to 5 he leads. He's just 2 frames away from victory. Let's join frame 13. There's no score. Wattana's at the table.
If he does play this pot, Philly's got to play with a lot of side to get either around the back of the black or check side to come back up and down. I think he's playing around the back of the black, and there doesn't look to be any room. There was absolutely no room. Well, people clapping that. I mean, I don't know how he was thinking he was going to get around the back of the black. But look at the kiss he's got. He would have had no shot at all, bar for this little kiss. Pink's not a certainty, though, Phil.
No, but you've got to give him credit for the pot in the first place. A subdued hush descended on the crowd when Ronnie O'Sullivan came back from 6-2 down to 6-5. But they've certainly livened up now.
8.
Oh, that bit of good fortune in getting onto the pink could prove to be very, very costly for Ronnie. This is a very, very good chance from James.
15.
For James. The last frame, the standard was superb. Produced a fantastic clearance of 50. Old and young. James Wattana's got fans of all ages. James played that very, very hard. He wanted to make sure that he didn't have to kiss that red above the black. He wanted to be able to get onto that red. Looks to be absolutely perfect just to screw this black in. And now he can get rid of that red. This is a frame-winning chance.
23. 24. 31.
It's looking good for James, and there's 500 people crammed into this room at the Imperial Queen's Park. There's at least another 500 people down in the lobby watching on the monitors around the hotel. And the atmosphere now getting very tense.
Yes, Ronnie, and millions more in homes around Thailand, all hoping and praying that James Wattana
40.
can win this title for the second year in succession. He's under a heavy burden of expectation. So far, it isn't weighing him down.
47. 48.
That's Wattana's highest break
55.
of the evening session.
And I think now we can think about the highest break of the whole tournament, which at the moment is held by John Parrott, a break of 134. Early days, but these are spread quite nicely. They're going to be spread even better after that shot, I think. Oh, that is unlucky.
63.
Well, he was very, very lucky in his initial opening red to get onto the pink into the middle. I think that's made up for it a little bit. He's very unlucky not to be on a red there.
'63.
Excellent break.
Warm round of applause. Wattana in control here in frame 13, but enough points for O'Sullivan to pinch it.
Oh, that's his brain damage shot, that one. Quickly got down and played the cross double, thinking he would be coming back down for the black should he get it. But completely mishit it. And now if he's going to have any aspersions of winning this Asian Open title, Ronnie O'Sullivan is going to have to win the last 4 frames.
O'Sullivan confined to his chair, He must have thought he was pulling back to 6 each.
6.
A big clearance to the black in the previous frame. Obviously has swung the momentum back in Wattana's favour.
Yes, nothing risky being taken by James. Doesn't need the big colours, just needs
7.
to pot the reds. No problem at all now. This has been very impressive from James, the last 2 frames.
9.
Frame 12, that 50 clearance was superb under pressure. This was another frame he had to win to really tie the screws down on Ronnie. And he's looked in complete control. He really has got a superb temperament, James Wattana.
10.
It's quite amazing that he's gone through such a lean spell back in the UK. He really has been struggling.
Yes, Willie.
15.
Hard to quite work out why he came into this tournament without a win in a ranking event in 1995.
16.
Beaten in his opening match in both the International Open by Stephen Lee, or should I say by Ewan Henderson, and in the Regal Welsh Open by Stephen Lee. He's been struggling
21.
back in England. The same can't be said for his performances here in his home country.
22.
And he's really paced himself well as well in this tournament. Didn't start off all that well. Struggled, in fact, in his opening matches. But now he's in full flow.
30. 36. 37.
And you can't win a frame much more emphatically than this. The previous one was on the black.
44.
In this, O'Sullivan has failed to bother the scorers.
46. 49. 53. 58. 60.
Just about correcting. Breaks at 63 and a 71 clearance. 134 points to 0. James Wattana wins frame 13. He's 8-5 ahead and 1 frame away from the title.
Yes, good comeback by James Wattana, winning back-to-back frames, and Ronnie O'Sullivan will be rueing even more that missed pink in frame 12, which of course could have helped put him level at 6 frames apiece. We're still awaiting our first century break of this final, by the way. 90 from James Wattana in the opening frame of the match remains the highest break at present. Well then, James Wattana, we've reached the crunch, just 1 frame away from victory. 500 people waiting to erupt in the Imperial Queen's Park Hotel in Bangkok. Let's join the next frame now. This is frame 14. Wattana's at the table. There's no score.
Without the kiss, it's very good, this. Excellent shot.
After winning the tournament last year, James Wattana conducted so many interviews with the Thai press that he lost his voice. I wonder if he's going to arrive at next week's Benson & Hedges Irish Masters and not be able to speak. They'll besiege him again, of that there's no doubt.
Well, in fairness, the safety shot was superb. The fluke is a massive bonus. He couldn't have played the safety shot any better than this. He was in desperate trouble. And look, he's finished nicely on the blue. In February, he needed a 70-plus break. He needs it now.
6. 7.
That's been his problem tonight. Position has not been spot on. He's always having to do things with the cue ball, play cannons, and that's what's happening, you see.
7.
That wasn't nerves missing it. It was because he just lost position. He played a very careless red to black. And he was concentrating so hard on getting the full ball kiss on the red to leave himself in position, he forgot to pot the black.
Thank you.
At least second prize for O'Sullivan. The blacks covered the pocket into which the easy reds would have gone. They're certainly pleased that O'Sullivan missed that black. The VIPs enjoying themselves. James Wattana still very serious.
Half-hearted attempt at plant. I don't think James fancied the plant, but it was just a chance for a safety shot. Well, is Ronnie going to take this on? Not too many English in the crowd, but I think that's one. So it's 1 against 100 million. Brilliant shot. He was always going to be fortunate to get onto a colour-off red because he was going to have to kiss into another red. But in fairness, he was unfortunate to finish tight on the cushion. Well, he might be attempting this pot. Well, that is an absolutely fantastic pot.
He's throwing caution to the wind. Might not be a bad idea.
I remember a match quite some years ago when Joe Johnson was in prominence, and I think he was 12-9 behind against Terry Griffiths, and just suddenly got down, hit everything 100 mile an hour, and I think he made 3 centuries in 80 and won 13-12.
The 86 World Championship, he went on to win the title. The bounce has returned to his stride.
19.
I'm glad Ronnie's just slowed down a little bit here because there's still plenty of work to do. It's not easy to get onto colours, but he judged that perfectly. The next 24 points are going to be straightforward. Look at the way he's had to play this. Just if he played it any harder, he would have kissed the other red and not come out onto the black. The pace he played it, controlled the positional side perfectly.
27.
Well, it looks like it's not over yet.
28. 35. 36. 42. 43.
As long as he can angle through the two reds to be able to cue the black, this shouldn't cause any problems because he can play for the red that's nearest the top right-hand pocket. There you can clearly see the angle.
And that 50 break took 3 minutes and 5 seconds to compile. What a fluent player he is.
51.
the lead, 58. So just black and one more red should make the frame safe. Well, be careful.
58. 59.
What's the difference between the two cues? You probably saw Ronnie O'Sullivan hardly touch the cue ball there to get the screw back.
67.
James, when he plays that shot, has to really dig down to try and get the control of the cue ball from the screw shots.
The champagne's on ice. The celebration's delayed by at
73.
least one frame.
74.
He is just wonderful with the rest. Jimmy White, I thought, had no peers as far as using the rest is concerned. He undoubtedly has been the greatest player I've ever seen with the rest,
81.
but Ronnie O'Sullivan is quickly approaching that status
82.
as well.
John Parrott's 134 total clearance
88.
against Alain Robidoux, the highest break of the tournament so far. Not in jeopardy.
89.
And O'Sullivan can certainly slam in a century. Just a total lack of concentration. The work had been done. An 89 break. He's right in this match. He just needs the last three. Wattana leads 8-6.
Ronnie O'Sullivan flying then in frame 14. He trails by 8 frames to 6. Is there yet a twist in the tail in the 1995 Thailand Open? We're about to find out. Here's frame 15.
The tension growing, and the standard of snooker in the last 3 frames has been really high. O'Sullivan's made breaks of 55 and 89. Wattana 50, 63 and 71. It's good entertainment for this packed crowd here at the Imperial Queen's Park Hotel. But they just want James Wattana to get over the winning line.
Ronnie has a good chance of putting James in trouble here. Just got to make sure that cue ball's tight on the cushion, just overrun it slightly. A couple more reds have come out into the open. I, for one, would like to see another couple of frames in this match. It's been really exciting the last 3 or 4 frames. Can Ronnie O'Sullivan bring another one back?
O'Sullivan's looking at the plan, but to me this seems very risky, Willie.
Well, he's going to have to hit it very fine if this plant's on. A little bit unlucky. What an amazing shot. Just watch this one. Oh, what a shame. Oh, look at this. The rest completely off the table here. It was shaking a little bit, wasn't it?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1.
Not a good safety. Lung red into this bottom left-hand pocket available for James Wattana. And if he gets it, good chance to build a sizable lead.
Yes, I think he might play the middle one. I want to say the middle one, the red in the middle of the blue and red, because he can play it as a shot to nothing then. See, the one on the left-hand side, it's very difficult to get position. And if he misses it, he's going to leave a red on. Well, he's playing that red. He's going to have to be very, very careful.
Brilliant shot.
Oh, this is no give me, is it?
Two excellent pots on red and blue.
6.
Wattana not folding, responding to the pressure.
Well, those
7.
last two pots of James, the initial red and the blue, showed temperament of the highest quality. His talent has never been doubted. But under pressure, it's a different game, and he showed great composure for those last few shots.
14.
Well,
15.
will he play the green, one cushion into the pack of reds near the pink? This could be frame and match winner if it works. He's going to play it. This is a massive shot. Just missed them.
18. James Wattana, 18.
Wattana hasn't been in the winner's circle since he was victorious here 12 months ago. He's on the threshold of a return, though. 8-6 ahead. Just one frame away from defending the title successfully. It was 9-7 against Steve Davis last year. He doesn't want O'Sullivan to get 7.
Again, Ronnie's safety not quite good enough. James can get his hand on the table, and he looks to be playing a shot to nothing again off this one. James has played fantastic all week, but goodness me, he's had a run of the ball. He's playing for a baulk colour off that shot, and he's finished on the black.
And how did that one go in?
Yes, it's no good fighting with James, with Len Ganley, James.
Hey.
They kind of bumped into each other there. I know he'd come off second best in that little exchange.
9.
Yes, Willie, bantamweights on favourite against super heavyweights.
I'm sure at this moment in time, it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who feels like the bantamweight. He might not get him back to the table here. James
16.
will win many tournaments, but he won't get many better chances to win one with the ball
17.
spread like this. But once again, it's come off a very fortuitous kiss on the black. But don't take it away from the way he's played. The last 4 frames have been snooker of the highest quality.
Yes, and the initial pot to get in took a lot of nerve.
$25.
And could this be another occasion, Willie, where you can say you've lost to the winner?
Yes, it's happened a few times this season. And it was only my own fault, I think, that I lost to James. I led 4-2, but he wasn't playing it at the standard he's playing this evening. He's playing superb snooker.
Out of position there, though. Still work to be done.
30.
The beauty of the red, though, in the middle, he can play it virtually as a shot to nothing if he wants to. Makes a big difference when you can stun them in and know that your only ball you're going to leave is the one you're playing. You have the choice of the other one in the middle as well, but he could leave this on if he misses it. Oh, great shot.
And a lovely angle on the green as well. Don't think he's too straight. He can bring the cue ball back towards the reds. Moving towards the title.
Oh, this is a little bit careless, I think. He's overrun the cue ball.
34.
I don't think he's can see the red. He can just about get through. Yes, he can, look. This is a big shot. This is a match winner.
35.
Well, I thought he was going to stun out for the black, which looked an easier choice. Well, they're looking tense. We're tense in the commentary box. This has been a tremendous tournament. The standard all week has been of the highest standard.
O'Sullivan getting close to the point of no return.
40.
The break 40, the lead 57.
And what a great positional shot we just saw James play. Played off 3 cushions to get into this red. It was the only red that was potable into this pocket.
41.
58 in front, red 65. Frame and match virtually in the next 2 shots. If he pots the red, he has won.
This is 65 ahead with 59 on the table. 2
48.
snookers required. If he pots this red, I don't think O'Sullivan's going to bother to come back to the table.
49.
And wouldn't it be nice, the standard we've seen the last 4 frames, if James could run out with a century break. He's run now. The crowd knows it. He knows it.
His English name is James Wattana. His official Thai name, Wattana Puaborn. His nickname, Tongsi Choi. One thing you can call him for definite,
62.
the 1995 Thailand Open champion.
63.
I really do hope he gets a century here. He's improved with every match. Today he has been superb.
16.
You can't take away
70.
from the way he's played. Ngani nearly got his hand chopped off there with the pink. Break goes to 76.
76.
This would be wonderful to finish with a century.
76.
Well, not quite, but nevertheless, he finished with a flourish. In the last few frames, he made breaks of 50, 63, 71 and 76. James Wattana, well deserved. He's made a successful defence of the Thailand Open title, and once again, the whole of Thailand delighted with the result.
It's James Wattana, the winner, and there, picking up the consolation prize, Ronnie O'Sullivan, £18,000, becoming runner-up in the 1995 Costa Thailand Open. And if he'd been playing anybody apart from James Wattana, the majority of the crowd there would have wanted Ronnie to be champion. It wasn't to be, though, and he takes the runners-up prize. What about the winner, then? For the second year, back-to-back successes for James Wattana. And here he is to pick up his winner's cheque of £32,500 and the accolades of the crowd. Means the defending champion there, successful defending champion, will go back to 3rd in the provisional world rankings and showing undoubtedly his best form of the season. Bangkok really does seem to bring the best out of James Wattana. And this is becoming something of a habit for him as he picks up the trophy that he received, of course, 12 months ago as well in Bangkok. Fantastic performance from, needless to say, a very popular winner indeed. James Wattana winning by 9 frames to 6. But what of the loser? Well, let's hear from him. Ronnie O'Sullivan, he's talking to Willie Thorne.
Well, Ronnie, first of all, congratulations on reaching the final. Were you disappointed with the way you played?
Yeah, definitely. You know, just didn't seem to happen for me in the afternoon session, and 6-2 behind. You know, it's a bit of a mountain to climb. You know, then I got back to 6-5, and you know, there's no excuses for really missing the pink. You know, I was perfect on the red, and that would have been 6-all, and then the pressure would have been bang on him.
Let's talk about the Thailand crowd. You must have been really impressed with the welcome they gave you. Obviously, their number one is James Wattana, but you now run a very, very close second here in Thailand.
Yeah, that's right. You know, always whoever plays James Wattana is going to be second, no matter who they are, and I think that's what makes the tournament. I mean, if he'd have got beat maybe in the last 16, the tournament would have gone dead. And I think it's just good for this tournament and for snooker that James Wattana did get to the final. And to be quite honest with you, you know, at the end of it, it was sort of like, it was a nice thing to see, you know, to see him walk out and the people cheering. You know, just to see him as a winner, it was nice to sort of like, you know, witness that sort of, you know, atmosphere. It was a good sort of like feeling. I felt good for James at the end. I was sort of like pleased for him, you know, to go out there and collect that prize, and you know, everyone was so sort of like chuffed.
We're going to see an awful lot more of Ronnie O'Sullivan, not only this year but many years to come. Well done here in Thailand this week, Ronnie.
Cheers, Willie. Thanks.
That's what you call a good loser, isn't it? Ronnie O'Sullivan, exceedingly gracious in defeat, having lost by 9 frames to 6 against James Wattana. Had his chances, no question about that, but it's James Wattana who once again is the Thailand Open champion. Let's hear from him.
To get to the final, that was good. That was one step. You halfway there, but to play in, you know, to play somebody like Ronnie as well. You know, you've got to play really well. Your mind's got to be very strong, and also you've got to make a good start, which I did, and. But then again, you know, he put me in all kind of pressure again, even though I was 6-2 up, and then back to 6-5, and it should have been 6-0 as well. I was in all kind of pressure, and to pinch that frame, it was a big relief for me as well.
And he'll be relieved that it's all over, and he's still the holder of the Thailand Open title. Mark Johnston-Allen, he played very confidently, particularly when it got really tough in the last few frames.
Yeah, I was really impressed with James' composure, because, I mean, the pressure out there must have been incredible. And like we said, Ronnie should have gone 6-6, but the clearance he produced to go 7-5 was tremendous. And after that, he just seemed to get stronger. So I think, you know, James' key strength in that match was his composure under pressure.
You know, from the point of view of the final, it's probably a view you wouldn't share, but Ronnie was saying it was great that James was there, and in some respects it needed that.
Yeah, I mean, Ronnie was obviously disappointed that he lost, but I know exactly what he was saying. I felt that when I lost to James in the semi-final. You're disappointed yourself, but you can see how pleased the crowd are, and it sort of like cushions the blow a little bit.
It's hard to see, isn't it, why James has been struggling so much for the rest of the season.
Can't understand it, honestly can't understand it. I mean, he's going to, I think, the Irish Benson Hedges this week, and then on to the British Open in Plymouth, and the World Championship after that. There's no reason why he can't win any of those tournaments, the way he's playing out in Bangkok.
OK, Mark. And next for you, of course, is the British Open. Who do you play there?
I got Dennis Taylor, first round, on April the 3rd. And, I mean, if I happen to get through that match, then I think it'd probably be Ronnie. So,
Ronnie O'Sullivan
so
again.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
So perhaps the start of another giant killing run. OK, well, Mark, many thanks for joining us here this afternoon. And thanks for entertaining us in Bangkok again with another good run this week. Look forward to seeing you down in Plymouth. Do hope you enjoyed our coverage from Bangkok this week. Now, don't forget our live, exclusive, extensive coverage of the British Open from Plymouth. It starts on Saturday, April the 1st. The Typhoon, well, he really couldn't have blown out a lighted match before this week. But once again, Bangkok has shown James Wattana to be a real force in the game. And once again, he's the Thailand Open snooker champion. From us, bye-bye.
Looking back over my shoulder, I can see that look in your eye. I never dreamed it could be over. I never wanted
Welcome back to our coverage of the British Open. Both Stephen Hendry and